Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today again is another Injustice 2 video. As a matter of fact, this could probably also be classified as a Mortal Kombat video because we're really just talking about guest characters inside of NetherRealm Studios games, either it be Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat Mobile recently, and of course Injustice 2, which is bound to have at least one or two guest characters in the game. Now, just a few days ago, Brian Chard, of course you guys may or may not remember him, but he is actually in charge of like the voiceovers. He was like a sound designer for NetherRealm Studios for like the last decade or so. He's been working on Mortal Kombat games since I want to say Armageddon. And as a matter of fact, back in the past, he's spoken to me on Twitter. I've used his tweets in a couple of my videos back during the Mortal Kombat Combat Pack 2 hype. And he actually resigned from his position during the summer, and he actually had this interview with Mortal Kombat Online a few days ago. And he gave some insight on what it was like behind the scenes working in their studios. And of some of these questions, I mean, like I said, it's worth noting because we actually have an idea of why we have guest characters inside of Mortal Kombat X. And of course, obviously, why we're going to get some inside of Injustice 2. So with that said, guys, we're going to break down a couple of these questions he actually answered, but before that, could you guys please drop a like on the video? Last night I uploaded super late, but despite that, I still asked for 500 likes. You guys crushed it, over 1,000 likes. 1,000 likes with YouTube being broken, guys. I could use all the support now more than ever. Trust me, though, the recent love and support you guys have shown me lately is insane. So thank you all so much for that, but let's talk about the reason why you're here. Guest characters inside of Injustice 2, and of course, obviously in the past, Mortal Kombat 9, Injustice 1, and obviously Mortal Kombat XL. And it sucks because I was pretty much right all along. Back then I would say, you know, guys, I don't think it was NetherRealm Studios and Ed Boon saying, okay, we gotta have Alien, we gotta have Jason Voorhees, we gotta have Predator, we gotta have Leatherface in this Mortal Kombat roster. I always said I could not see NetherRealm Studios being responsible for that, and I always assumed that it was just Warner Brothers, the gigantic corporation that they are, that own all the rights to all these gigantic horror movie characters, making their voices be heard and saying, hey, we own you guys, like, you work for us. If we want these characters in the game, you're putting them in the game. Why else, guys, would we not see, you know, fan favorites like Noob or like Jade or, you know, like a list of characters, Fujin, Rain, the NPCs. And I've always said that, you know, a lot of you guys agreed with me back then. A lot of you guys were like, no, it's gotta be Ed Boon. He appeals to casual players. It's all his fault. And I'm like, okay, take a step back, guys. This guy created Mortal Kombat, obviously. You would probably rather have a Mortal Kombat character than a guest character. And I hate to show this to you guys, but look at this actual question right now that was asked to Brian Chard a couple days ago in this interview. Bam. Can you share your reasons for leaving? Were there any frustrations that contributed? And of course his response was, I could write a whole book on it. And that's when you know it's not good. There were many reasons, lots of long-running problems that came to a head at once, but the final straw was a meeting in which it was made clear to me that the #1 ability NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brother management valued in their employees, more so than any track record or history they might have, was the ability to be yes men. I realized then that I could no longer work there, which was sad. When I read that, that was like the last section of the interview. It really just, I mean, it pissed me off, honestly, because I'm like, wow, like, it all makes sense now. It was honestly Warner Brothers' like idea all along to have these guest characters inside of Mortal Kombat X and now inside of Injustice 2. So like Spawn, gotta be in this game. He's a great guest character, and that makes some sense. But like Sub-Zero's gonna be in here. For all we know, some other random Warner Brothers licensed characters that make an appearance as well. And it's all because they value having their employees be yes men, aka listen to everything that Warner Brothers wants them to, you know, to do. And that sucks because guys like Brian Chard, who worked there for a decade, their opinions really don't matter anymore because they are now owned by a gigantic corporation like WB. And I saw this and I was like, man, it all makes sense. All along, I've been saying this, and now there's finally proof because somebody who was there for 10 years, who created all those amazing Mortal Kombat intros in the past, all those Clash quotes in the first Injustice game, he actually came out and said, yeah, they want us, to, you know, to be yes men, and if you don't like that, you pretty much can't work there anymore. You can't speak your mind, and pretty much confirms, guys, that guest characters are now going to be in the game from here on out. I don't think much is going to change because that's how Warner Brothers wants things to be. Like I mentioned, though, this is a great interview and it gives you a ton of background information inside of what it's like behind the scenes at NetherRealm Studios. For instance, he was asked this question right here. Bam! Social media has become a monster for wild speculation, misinformation, and fan backlash. What kind of impact does it have in NetherRealm Studios? Can it really elevate a character or subject to notice? Or, as you've mentioned recently, do you think it can have an opposite effect? Now, his response to that was, it has too much of an impact in my opinion. Ed pays too much attention to the vocal minority who clog his Twitter feed. As you know, I tweeted that fans shouldn't expect many NPCs inside of Injustice 2 because of all the complaining about fightable NPCs inside of Mortal Kombat X. And Ed's reaction to these complaints. On the other hand, I saw a lot of tweets asking for Fujita's DLC, and that didn't happen, so go figure. Most of the team ignores online comments, or at least they say they do. I read some occasionally because it's often the only feedback we get on what we've created. I try to remember that the opinions expressed only represent a tiny portion of our audience, so you read it there yourself, guys. NPCs inside of Injustice 2 probably not likely because of all the backlash they got for not including, you know, the likes of Rain, the likes of Sindel, and I just wish they would have taken this a bit differently. They're seeing it as, okay, we just hate NPCs in general. Like, no, we liked NPCs in the campaign. What we didn't like was these guys being teased and them not being inside the actual game's roster. Now, take that for what it is. It just sucks because now that that's happened, we're probably not going to see any like NPCs in the campaign for Injustice 2, and that kind of sucks because I actually like that idea because it made it seem like there was an actual universe apart from just like the characters on the roster. You know what I mean? It made the game seem a lot bigger than it was. And that's unfortunate, really. But guys, this is an interview. I keep saying go check it out. It's so much information, jam-packed. I don't want to just spoil it all here in my video. So a massive shout out to Mortal Kombat Online. Of course, you want to read the full thing, a link provided below. But yes, it's now been pretty much revealed that the reason why we get guest characters is not because another studio saying, yeah, we just want to screw over the fans. Like, no, it's WB stepping in and saying like, hey, you're putting this character as DLC inside of the game. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I thought it was super interesting how, I mean, it's actually been revealed by somebody who was there for a decade. Like, yeah, it's not in our hands. Like, Warner Brothers wants us to be yes men, to listen to everything that they want us to do. And that's what's going on in NetherRealm Studios with the guest characters, really, guys. So anyways, what do y'all think of this entire situation? Me, personally, I think it was, you know, I was bummed out in the summer when I saw that Brian Chard got, he actually resigned because I loved his intros. I love the small touches he added to everything in MKX. And I don't know if they're going to find somebody who can do that because this guy seemed really dedicated to his work, and it's cool to see him actually coming out now and answering questions. And who knows, maybe one day we can interview him here on the channel. That'd be super cool as well. But guys, let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like on it. Of course, subscribe for some more MKX and Injustice 2 content. Till next time, I've been your host, I've been Dynasty. Get prepared for some more guest characters. I'll see you guys later. Peace.